Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome back to Purpose and Power. I'm excited about this episode. Can you believe that we have already done 15 episodes? It may not seem like it's a lot to some, but doing the work and getting it out there and editing and all of that, it takes time. It takes work. It does take commitment. But this is our 16th episode, and I'm so excited, you guys. And today is going to be a little bit different than what we normally do. Again, this is Purpose and Power. My name is Renelle Brooks, and I am so excited to be with you on today. So we're going to take things a little different way. Today, we're going to do a power recap, and this is going to be game changing for you guys' businesses. I want to go through everything that we have done. So if you've been riding with me from episode 1, or if you're just hopping on, consider this your fast pass into purpose-driven clarity. So let's get into it. I wanted to give you a recap on all that we have talked about from the very beginning. So whether you're launching a nonprofit from your kitchen table or scaling your consulting business from vision to funding, this episode is your official highlight reel of all the foundations that we have been building since day one. So think of it as your purpose playbook, honest, smart, and straight to the point. I'm just going to be picking different episodes that were business oriented so that you can kind of have a cohesive understanding of where we started and where we're at now. So episode 2 was laying the foundation, and we kicked it off with the big question, why are you even doing this? Purpose isn't fluff, it's the cement in your foundation. So we talked about how your business needs more than just a cute logo or a color palette. It really needs intention. It really needs to be well thought out. And we talked about laying that firm foundation. And I shared a story with you guys about how I worked at the consulate, and we had a building that was coming up alongside of us, but they dug so deep down to get this foundation. And little did we know it was a high-rise building that they were building. So with the high-rise, you got to go way down deep, and you have to make sure the foundation is firm. You have to make sure that there's enough depth to carry the weight of how high you're going to go. We talked about that, and we talked about those elements of the foundation that were key. If you have not had a chance to go back and review those episodes, this is your chance. If you have not ever watched the episodes that I'm going to be discussing on today, I encourage you to go and take a look at those episodes. You'll find some really key elements that will help you build a firm foundation, whether it's a business, whether it's a nonprofit organization, whether it's an existing organization that you need to shore up some things, you will not be disappointed. So the next episode is one of my favorite ones, and it's, is your business purpose-driven or profit-driven? And that is so important. And we're not talking about, oh, you shouldn't be wanting to make money and all of that. We're no shade to making money because we all love abundance around here. But we challenge you to ask, is my business chasing the bag or actually making an impact? Purpose and profit are not enemies. They're actually partners when aligned correctly. So if you think about it, as you move into purpose, doing what you were created to do, giving the services and providing the resources that your community needs, along with that comes profit. So you want to make sure that your focus is right. You have a good, strong cause behind it, a good, strong purpose behind it, because what if you don't make money? You also want to do things that bring you a sense of purpose. You also want to do things that bring you clarity so that you can move forward, even if things don't look like they should. Sometimes business goes awry. Sometimes you have a lot of struggle and a lot of things in your organization. And trust me, I know. And so that purpose will keep you aligned and keep you focused. The next episode was episode 4, and that was understanding your why. And so in this episode, it kind of goes along with the purpose, being purpose driven. And we dug deep into motivation, guys, because let's be real, when things get tough, your why is what is going to keep you showing up. Not the likes, not the invoices, but the impact. And so just think about it. I've served a lot throughout the years. I've done food security, I've done food giveaways and food bank. I served the homeless. And what kept me motivated and what kept me going is one, to know that I was able to provide food for people that do not have food. Also, with the homeless population, I took them to hospital visits. I saved some lives. People came off of the streets, off of drugs. I have success stories where people have literally came out of drug addiction just because that was my motivation. That was my purpose, to serve that community for that particular time. So you want to make sure that you're really, really operating in your why, because it's going to keep you motivated when other things don't look like they're going the way that you think they should. So episode 5, guys, it seems like I love all of these episodes, but this episode was called You're the Solution, so What's the Problem? So here's where it got a little spicy, guys. So we flipped the focus. We flipped the focus from you being the solution to what is the problem. And you may say, oh, well, we know what the problem is. The problem is homelessness. Oh, the problem is food insecurity. The problem is lack of education. But is that the root, or are those systemic causes that have stemmed from the root? So we looked at 3 things in that episode, and we looked at the root causes, we looked at the core problems, and we looked at the effects of that. So you want to make sure that when you are saying that you are the solution, you want to have a clear understanding of the problem so you get to the root of it. And that is what we call the root cause. So your gifts, your story, your expertise, they're here to solve something. But do you know what the problem really is that you're solving for the community that you're serving? So if you don't know why, how will they? We looked at a lot of things during that episode. And so we really want to dumb down on those things, because these are what build the foundation. These are what helps you craft and create better solutions to the problems, to the issues that you are poised to solve. So episode 5 was called Divine Downloads and Strategic Steps. So we talked about receiving, understanding, and the strategy that activates your purpose. So call it clarity, being able to receive the download that helps you move forward. So getting a clear understanding. So in this episode, we talked a lot about strategy. We talked about a lot about how your strategy is going to align with your purpose and help you be successful in carrying out what you were supposed to do. So let's take my example, the food bank. So how would I do the food bank? Okay, I need food. I need to know what community I'm serving. I need to know how many family members are in each household. I need to know all of those things. So that means I need some type of survey. That means I need some type of resource to be able to get food. So all those little things add up, and they result in the goal being accomplished. So the steps that you need to take, those action steps, cause for strategy. And so we talked about that in episode 5. So guys, episode 8 is why your mission is your map. Why your mission is your map. So your mission isn't just the website copy or the content that you put on your website. It is actually the GPS. It keeps you aligned when distractions show up. We unpacked how you write your mission statement that actually means something and how it guides your decisions. So in that episode, we help you come up with a crafted template for you to write your mission statement. And we gave key points as to how you do that. So episode nine, we talked about the vision that sees ahead. When we're looking at the now, we're not really looking at the vision. We're looking towards the future when we talk about vision. And so vision is actually what the end goal is. And that may not be for 3, 5, 10 years from now. But you have to create the vision so that people know where you are going. So vision without a plan really is just a daydream. It's like, oh, I'm going to think about this. I'm going to dream this, and hopefully you get it done. That's not how we operate here, guys. You know, we operate in excellence. So we explored in that episode how to cast a long range vision, how to cast a long range vision that is bold but buildable. It's not out of your scope to build. You just have to have that vision crafted, those strategic action steps put in place, your goals put in place, and so that your business knows where you're going and why you're going there. So this episode, the next episode I'm going to talk about, guys, is really, really key for me anyways, because ethics, morals, doing things the right way is really, really important. So this episode 10 is core values. We talk about the core values. We explain how they're not just buzzwords. We broke down how values is really your decision-making filter. Who you hire, who you partner with. Let's say an organization wants to partner with you. They have all the infrastructure, they have all the funding, they have all these things, but they have a different value system than you have. And I can think of a whole lot of things right now, but they have a different value system. Will you buckle under pressure? You might, if you do not have the core values aligned, if you do not have your core values written out, well crafted, that align with your ethics, with your morals, what you want your business or organization to stand for. So when I say that they are your decision-making filter, it's about what you say yes to, what you say no to. That all runs through your values. When you have your values aligned, it helps you say yes to the right things. Because you know, as well as I do, even though something may be a good idea, it may not align with where you are going. So it also helps you say no to what you need to say no to. All right, guys. So episode 14. On episode 14, we talked about culture code. And this is important too. It goes right along with those core values that we spoke about. But the culture code, why a thriving culture is non-negotiable. Guys, we build in excellence. And so this episode talks about why having a culture that is thriving is non-negotiable. So if you're building a team or a community, your culture is either happening by design or by accident. Some things are good to happen organically, but then some things need alignment. They need guidelines. And a good, thriving culture is non-negotiable. So in this episode, we talked about how to shape it intentionally, so people feel connected, empowered, and like they belong. So you have your organization, your employees, you have your board members, you have your donors, and all of that, plays into your culture as well. It's so, so important, guys, to have a culture that is a safe culture, an innovative culture, an empowering culture. within your organization, because that makes your organization grow. So episode 15 is like a near and dear episode to me. Guys, I love helping people and serving people. And so this was one of my favorite episodes, and it was called The Hustle Exchange. We talk about none other than bartering. And this is a heartfelt episode for me, guys, because I felt like when the wildfires were happening in California and my background with serving and helping people, I felt like there should be no reason why people aren't able to rebuild. Money should not be the reason why people aren't able to rebuild, or why people aren't able to move forward in their businesses, why people aren't able to just start somewhere. And so this is one of my favorite episodes, and I shared how me and my personal trainer have been bartering for a whole year, guys. Yes, a whole year. So to keep each other leveling up, we have had no money exchange. We've crafted an MOU, which I do have on my YouTube links. You're welcome to download it as a free download. It's a template for an MOU. If you know somebody that is well vetted, and we talked about how to choose a purpose partner for your MOU if you decide to go with bartering. But if you know somebody that has a skill set that is well vetted and you guys are mutually benefiting one another, it is a good thing to barter. Of course, we want to make profits. That is the goal, to make profits, to be purpose driven, to be able to help as many people as we can. However, sometimes that is not always the case. And so I wanted to create something for people that may be going through a time where bartering may be the best thing for them. So like I said, my trainer and I have created an MOU, and we just kept re-upping our MOU because it has been mutually beneficial for the both of us. On that episode, we spotlighted how you can get what you need by offering what you have, especially in the early stages of your business when your budget says not yet. So that's one thing that you can do. You can also do it to build relationship, to build collaboration, especially if you're just getting started and you're wanting to collaborate with someone. You just don't quite know how. But again, I stress that it has to be something that is mutually beneficial. It should not be one-sided, where one partner is pouring out everything and the other partner has yet to give anything. So guys, now what? We have went through some of the major business core components and episodes that I have done within the 15 episodes. So now what? So you've got the purpose, you've got the mission, you've got the values, you have the vision, and even some ideas about bartering. Now it's time to put this purpose playbook into motion. So of course, the coach in me is going to give you a challenge, which I always do. I want you to first revisit your business or organization with fresh eyes. Look at it again. Look at it again. Does your mission still match your map? Does your mission still match your way forward? And that's what we're talking about here. Is your culture, the culture of your business or organization, is it accidental or is it intentional? You may have to realign some things, bring some guidelines back into place, and you can do a lot of things. I talked about how you can champion your people for doing things that are culture related. So check out that episode if you have not. It will give you some really, really good tips. Are you solving the right problem for the right people? And remember, guys, this is so key because you don't want to just solve and bring solution to the effects of the problem. You want to get way down to the root of the problem and be able to be a solution that brings about change. And in that episode, I believe I talked about how the first thing that you want to do is you want to bring access and education to people when you're trying to shift the community or a nation or a people group or an organization for that matter. But you want to bring the access first. That is one of those short-term goals. And we're going to get into goals, guys. We're going to get into goals. I know we've just been scratching the surface, but we're definitely going to get into goals. So are you building for purpose or just surviving the hustle? Think about that. Is your business purpose driven or profit driven? If you're all about the numbers, where is the joy in that? Yes, making money is good, but what's the purpose behind that, guys? Let's dig deeper than just the surface. So if you're feeling stuck, you know I got you. Book a purpose strategy session with me. Let's take an audit of your business. Let's realign your vision and build a business or organization that is not just profitable, guys, but meaningful. Because you know, I always say we don't just build businesses here, we build legacy. So, guys, be sure if you like this episode, if it brought value to you, if it jogs some of your memory about things that we talked about before, I'm encouraging you to go back, do the call to action, guys, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or nonprofit founder who really needs to hear it. Subscribe to my channel, guys, if you guys are on YouTube, or again, to tag me in on Instagram at simply_Renelle so I can cheer you on. Let's keep building on purpose with power, guys. Until next time, see you on the next episode. You guys take care.